Day. We give the floor to the Speaker of the Ministry of Defense on the two issues, Colonel Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to offer to your attention the situation in the ATO area over the last 24 hours. In the Mariupol direction, the shooting continues near the settlement of Shirokina, in addition to active use of by the militants of 122mm artillery and mortar launchers, and this marksman shooting. Also, they use the artillery installation with the caliber 122mm self-propelled artillery. This is also very heavy weaponry which they're concealed in the occupied Sakhanka. Since there is a big threat to the life of our military guys, the ATO forces retaliated. In the next direction, the situation remains to be very difficult and very hard and hot. The battles continue in the area of airport near in the suburbs of Gorovka. We are talking about the settlements of Kiver and Lozove, near Svetlodarsk. Also, our positions in Volnovakha district were twice bombarded from the multi-missile launchers Grad. In the Lugansk direction, the active, combat actions take place all over along the whole line of contact from Zolote to Stanitsa Luganska. Also, in Bakhmut Highway in Pervomaisk, the militants try to find the bottlenecks or the weak points in our defense. Because of the bombardments, the militants actually damage and ruin the residential houses, and it's a threat to peaceful population. Over the last 24 years, 1 Ukrainian soldier was killed and 8 wounded. According to the intelligence and reconnaissance data on the occupied territories, there is a lot of protests in the city of Stakhanov and Transit, as well as in Dyakovo of Transit district, Lugansk region. There were kind of street meetings during which the local residents expressed their dissatisfaction with the aggressive policy of occupational power. The armed forces of Ukraine on a daily basis increased their combat skills. The naval forces of Ukraine conducted the exercise on the paratroopers training. They involved the special paratroopers ship or vessel Kirovograd, the Svatova, and they also were carrying out the exercise of driving the armored vehicles in the water. The Ukraine awards these heroes by the degree of President of Ukraine, by the order of Bogdan Khmelnytsky with the third degree. The First Lieutenant Dmitry Vacha and Major Dmitry Stepanchenko were awarded this order. Was mortal. The Minister of Defense Stepan Poltorak also awarded or bestowed the award to the families of the killed soldiers, and the minister also bestowed the order, let's say, presented the son of Major Stepanchenko, Andrei, a special watch. At the same time in Lvov, they had the awarding ceremony for the participants in the competition. My father defends the motherland. Over these few days, the children of the military, Ukrainian military, who serve in the zone of ATO, they provide their drawings, they wrote poetry and demonstrated their talents.
Ukrainian forces destroy Russian militants and counterintelligence arrested a resident of Nshasty, Luhansk region, who corrected the fire of militants upon his own city. Using the phone, he informed LNR leaders about the dislocation of ATO forces. He spotted artillery, and he reported on how it shelled upon the houses of civilians. Ukrainian border guards arrested 3 criminals who kidnapped a resident from Mariupol. They were trying to take him to temporarily occupied territory, but they were arrested by border guards and police. And that was on the border cross point. Kalchik is on the line of separation. During activities, police and their colleagues from SBU arrested a resident who collected and by phone informed DNR again about movement in this position of Ukrainian armed forces. He had Georgian bands, modems, mobile phones, and cuts of mobile operators. Artemivsk, they arrested two men who are suspected and that they killed a major armed forces of Ukraine. One of them was in a jail before for robbery. After expertise, the suspects will have to be responsible according to two more articles of the code, illegal weapons. Ukrainian armed law police found police, and the Chernihiv police found a secret place with weapons, and it was in an unfinished private house. During the check, they found a grenade, a gun with a fuse, a Kalashnikov submachine gun, and also cartridges. According to the data, the arsenal belongs to 20 years old local resident who is a participant of illegal military formation and who is wanted. During the operational search activities, police took from a resident from 6 reactive mortars and of small size, and he has additional weapons. He has it in a grow. There is a rotation of military men who are in ATO on military mission. To the east, a united unit from Chernihiv moved to the east. That includes military men from on the contract and also volunteers who were mobilized from different regions of our country. As the commander of the unit says, part of them, they have a military experience, battle experience, and they are provided with everything necessary, equipment and weapons. Ukrainian industry renewed BTR for the needs of ATO. Here, Azov factory in Mariupol provided to police BTR 60. They gave it to the police. This is the second, which was renewed by workers of the plant from zero. They just not only fixed, but also they put it a tower, and now improved the vehicle is ready to serve to policemen during their missions in ATO. This is all information. If there is any question, you're welcome. Thank you. Here's a question.
Please. He will translate. Yeah. Question from Dutch TV, please. Your colleague Andrei Lysenko gave a press briefing on the morning of 17 July 2014. It was the day of the crash of the MH17. The press conference was before the crash. He said that the military had intelligence about book system in Chizny that morning. Why was the airspace not closed immediately after that information came to the military? Yeah.
Так, я зрозумів ваше питання.
It's not my competence to answer to this question. I suggest that you send your question to the Ministry of Defense and to maybe to aviation bodies just to receive very good explanation. I'm not ready to answer your question. Sorry.
Transport, that this dangerous situation with the rebels having a book was existing in Chizny.
Ну, я не можу вам сказати, чи знали.
I cannot tell you whether aviation ministry had that information. It's better if you get the explanation from them.
The Ukraine military, who had the information, was informing the Ministry of Transport. Did you do your job and inform the Ministry of Transport?
Є відповідний механізм співпраці.
There is there is the way how MOD cooperates with other ministries. I'm not ready to answer your question. Let's discuss this issue after the briefing, and I will give you directions how you can get all information on this issue. Thank you. Is there any other question? No questions. Thank you very much. Thank you.